Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and we have a lot of stuff to get done. We just had the server reset. And of course, guys, we have the dailies that are going on. We have everything. We also have a lot for the events. I know it's a very, very last minute stream, but I wanted to hop on here. I wanted to go ahead and knock some of this out, see if we can get some of these done. I believe we still have the Misty Valley to do. We have a lot. The Temple Rift I know is falling behind, as well as the Dragon Forge, which we know is coming pretty soon. With the new hero that we're getting, Gregor is really looking good as a tank, but I wanted to hop on here. That way we can answer any questions. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do a live stream on Sunday. We are not going to be here in attendance. We're going to be actually out of state for the weekend, so we're not going to be able to do the live stream on Sunday. So again, wanted to hop on today, wanted to knock some of this out. So getting through our bounties, very easy. And of course, with the reset that is coming tomorrow, again, we are not going to be here. So looking at this, guys, Treasure Scramble, we are at 71%, or it's ranked number 71. We're doing very, very well. We are finally up to Treasure Master. Still looking to finish out the hero that we have, Aurelia. Still got to finish this out. What is going on, Gimme? Thanks for joining us for the very late last minute stream. Wanted to hop on here, wanted to knock some of this out, get into some of the Temple Rift, try to clean up some of the floors in there. Arcane Labyrinth. Now, if you guys don't know, you can skip the entire Labyrinth now. I didn't even know the update. I didn't even catch it within the patch notes. Don't even know if it was 1 or 2 patch notes ago, but you can skip the Dismal Maze 100% in the entirety. You can go ahead and skip it. Now, we know the Abyssal Expedition as well has already been announced that it is going to be coming. What's going on, Darren? So we know, again, there is a lot that is going to be coming, including, again, Gregor is going to be coming in the next patch. So we got to get through some of this. We really have to get stuff done. That way it is kind of all prepped for the weekend. Guild Store, we are still doing Hildwyn. Now, priority out of here, of course, being the insignias, but then Hildwyn is the secondary priority after you do get those. Now, of course, time emblems, we have a ton. Even looking at Eugene, I'm not too worried about building Eugene right now, just for the simple fact that we already have them at, I believe, 3 stars at this point. So everything else, we're just going to say we're going to keep accumulating. Everyone hates the exclamation on the Mystic Star Zone, but we want to hop in there. How's Awakened Iran looking? So honestly, Gemi, the Awakened version of Iran in comparison to Leica, I believe next tier list where I'm kind of seeing the progression, it seems like both of them are going to fall in the SSS tier list. They're probably going to be the absolute top that we see within AFK Arena. Iran is being used a ton of places. The Awakened version of Leica has always, since kind of release, been used in a ton of different places. So we know both of the heroes being used in a lot of different places. And honestly, with either of those, building them because they're both utilized and really ran within the within the Wilder Tower doesn't really make a big difference. What's going on? I'm always busy, but always around. Thanks for joining us, Nicholas. Again, very, very late minute stream that we were just hopping on here. And again, we have to get through some of this. I kind of looked and I was like, man, the Lost Spire started. Didn't even go in here. Haven't even started this at all. Let's run through some of the Lost Spire. And I forget who we added last time. I'm trying to remember. I thought Kelthin we used. But looking at the heroes, remember that you can add your own heroes in here. I'm trying to think off the top of my head exactly who we used, because I know it was a couple. So I believe it was the Awakened version of Athelia, or did we use Shemira? I think we might have used Shemira in there, if I remember correctly. You know what? Let's go with Athelia, and then let's go with some massive support. Even here, guys, we have Shuna in here. I think we used Lavatune in here, Demia in here, and I think that's what we are running. Aurelia, we could also run 1, 2, 3. Let's drop a few more in here. Then we will build them up. Now, of course, you know what? Let's drop the new hero in. Let's go there, and then let's go with Lavatune, and we'll see what this looks like for this crazy formation in there. I've been told Awaken Iran is just a flop. I didn't pull, and Leica won by over 100. So honestly, and the big thing, Gemi, is Leica does incredibly well. The Awakened version of Iran does really well and is being used a lot of places. We're seeing him in PvP. We're seeing him best in slot in some Cursed Realm formations. We're also seeing him in some iterations of the Nightmare Corridor. And I feel like as we continue to go get more heroes, honestly, we're probably going to see him used quite a bit more. I would assume that we are going to see, again, a lot more utility when it comes to the hero itself, just because of the way the hero is built. Honestly, it's going to be a hero that we definitely want to see. We want to see built and does very well. The higher that you build out the hero, the better he's actually performing. With him though, you have to remember with Iran, similar to Leica, is stats. The better the stats, the higher the stats, the bigger, the higher that you build them out, the better they're going to perform. And that is kind of a given. See, I thought we had Kelthin in there last time, and it looks like we did, but we did drop Athalia in there. You know what? Let's go with a lot of support. And I'm wondering if, let's put Aurelia up front. Let's see what this, going to save time emblems and Stargazer scrolls. Yeah, you can. The thing is, Darren, when it comes to saving them, a lot of it, and I kind of say this before, is a lot of it is kind of a double-edged sword with the saving versus the spending versus the progression. So if you're saving a lot of time emblems, the chances are that you are missing some of the heroes that we do have that are available right now in AFK Arena. If it's Leica, if it's Iran, if it's Antandra, regardless of who it is, you're going to be missing someone within your formations if you're just saving all of your cards. And it's the same thing with the Stargazer scrolls, is looking at Aurelia, looking at a couple different heroes. If you're missing the hero, it's going to be difficult to make progression if you're just saving all of your resources. But again, same thing as if a hero comes out that is very broken, you don't want to be missing all the resources and not being able to build anything. So again, I feel like there's a really fine line between both of those for what you should be saving, what exactly you need, and what you should be using and who you should be building. And that's where I honestly, that probably top tier, that SSS meta is really important, because those are going to be the top tier heroes that you do want to focus on, and it makes a difference. Is Naruko worth spending on resources, or where she used a lot? Naruko is being used. Mauler Tower is massive. Naruko, of course, with the tank, Ryan, is really big and used in different formations because the hero has the ability to do damage, hero has the ability to buff, hero has the ability to tank and to heal. So when it comes to Naruko, that is one hero that you are absolutely going to want to build because of the utility within there. Even looking at like a Temple Rift, even looking at campaign formations, 100% the Mauler Tower. A lot of them are being used in different places. I'm a returning free-to-play player after about a year. What would you recommend to get caught up? Honestly, oofing? Is it oofing? When it comes to getting caught up, Liberta, Lucilla, huge. Lavatoon, Demia, I'm not sure how when they were released. They are probably the biggest heroes, the biggest priority heroes we see in AFK Arena. Awakened heroes, I would probably do Athalia. Athalia or Shamira, both of them are going to do incredibly well. What's going on, Ami? And Soul is here as well. Thank you guys for joining me again. Very late, last-minute stream. But like I was saying, when you think of Celestials Hypos, if you want to get caught up, Lucilla, Liberta, Lavatoon, Demia, Aurelia, those are really the big top tier heroes to build within there. It seems like enemy is changing the state. Let's hop out and build a couple more of these. Now, of course, most players focus and build out these in the entirety. Building out the heroes, of course, is very imperative. A lot of players, I'll show you, that grab the other part of this doesn't really have a huge difference if you have the heroes built, and you'll notice it pretty quick. Let me see. I don't think we have Shuna built out. We have a 30 right there. Let's throw some furniture. So when you look at the runes, this is probably a lot later. Once you do have the heroes built out, you can drop some runes on there. It's going to do well with the runes after you have the heroes built out. And a lot of people do buy the one that gives you like a reduction of cost. Doesn't really make a huge difference in there. Glad to see you on. It is almost 10 o'clock. We're almost 10 o'clock. What's going on, Jai? I have Liberta ascended to 1-star. Lucilla, about 4 copies. Yeah, Lavatoon is huge. Oofing. Lavatoon is very, very big. Does Aurelia take a lot of resources to be good? Honestly, Ryan, I would probably say yes. The better that you build her. So basic build on her, of course, just having her unlocked. But when you think of the plus 30 signature item, absolutely. For a majority of newer heroes, it seems like you're going to have the newer heroes that do require a little bit of a bigger build. Looking at the tier list, it even says Awakened Souls. So the big thing with the tier list, Gemi, is the tier list was released the time that Awakened Iran was released. So when I looked at the tier list, they actually dropped the Awakened version of Iran, just dropped right into, I believe it was the A tier, because he didn't have utilization. Hadn't went through the Nightmare Corridor, hadn't went through the Treasure Scramble. We really hadn't seen him a lot of different places. At this point, we are starting to see him a lot more different places. I honestly never knew you could use Spire tokens to buff heroes. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Getting your heroes buff, like I said, is the biggest thing for making your progression in the Spire itself. This is the game changer. Now, Kelthin, again, was one that I know that we used before. Let's go ahead and level these up. And once they get to 309, you'll see pretty much everything. I don't take them higher all the way to the 80. There's no reason to go to the 80. But all of these heroes, I mean, getting them built out makes a big difference. When it comes to these bigger support heroes, the bigger the build, the more you're unlocking the skills and abilities they possess. It makes a really, really big difference. It does make a really big difference. I've been trying to make Fabled. I need less than 5 heroes. What should I do? Try to make Fabled. I need less than 5 heroes. I'm not sure what you mean, Nicholas. To make it into the Fable realm, less than 5 heroes. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I'll try to get Lavatoon. What about the Awakened? So the Awakened, you have Athalia. There we go. So, and Shamira. Honestly, like, so when it comes to Draconic heroes, very, very, so you probably weren't around for all the free copies we got of Hildwyn. Without that, I'd build Lan. If you're looking at building right now, looking at a hero to really, really build, Lan for the Highborn Draconic does incredibly well. That is what you want to focus on, and really the top priority, because Gwen requires a massive build to be effective. Most players aren't going to have the skills or abilities or really the resources to build it up that high. And then, of course, the regular Draconic heroes, Melion is really good. Nyla is really good. New Tank is kind of untested at this point, but both of those heroes are doing incredibly well with those. But again, you have the Awakened version of Athalia, you have Shamira. Both of them very, very strong. Could add Leica in there. Leica is another one that is a top tier hero for sure. That we've seen. So there we go. So these changed, it looked like again. Does Dolly have a new voice line hint? Yes. So there is. Did she have one for Misha, Villanelle, and Raul? Yes. She has one for everyone. Gianna, she has one for everyone. So right now she is talking about a Graveborn. That is the new hint from Dolly. She's talking about and if I remember correctly, drawing it from memory, she's talking about a graveyard that is carrying a jug on his back or over his shoulder, I believe it was. That was the new voice line that we seen from Dolly. So we know, guys, it has been a while since we seen a Graveborn hero, and she literally spelled out, this Graveborn hero does XYZ. Literally, it is right there. I'm torn between Lavatoon and Damia. I have a copy of Damia, but she just dies after the first ult. Who to build to Ascended? Alo, honestly, both of those you're going to build. You're going to build Lavatoon. You're going to build Damia. You could go Lavatoon first. The big thing with Damia, and really the cheese thing with Damia, is the collection. So when you look at Damia has the ability to run, and I don't know if they have, I don't think they have collections on here, but Damia has the ability to run this collection right here. Skill level 2 on Mihira's collection gives her a cheat death. And Damia, when you get her built up through the skills and abilities, Damia has a cheat death, and the cheat death that she possesses is for the entire team. So it is kind of a cheat with what she has, and it looks like there's going to be a defeat right here, which of course doesn't burn any of your resources. But we can go in here, and I believe we can build her up a little bit further. Furniture, of course, really big, and having these heroes built out, really, really big. Having, again, support heroes, big build. They require a big build. There we go. So we got this team built out. We got 309.60 across the board. And I know hopping in here really early. Now we look at the runes. Let's build up some haste in here. We'll go ahead and get some haste. Let's see. And I think the rest of them are what, 180. There we go. So we're adding 12 more points of haste in here, and we'll push a couple more floors. We'll get through here. And again, I had to get stuff done. I knew we had to hop on here. What's going on, Mystical? Yep, late night 10 p.m. stream right here. But looking again at the heroes we have, I might not have enough damage with Athalia, but some of the buffs might be able to pull through with what we're getting in here. Lavatune's still up. Demia's still up. And there we go. We got it done. Yeah, it's a little bit of a late night stream. Again, Sunday I cannot stream. We are not going to be in the area. We're actually going to be out of state on Sunday. So there is not going to be a stream Sunday. So I did want to hop on and see. Yeah, new voice hint, like I said, is going to be a Greyborn, which is going to be awesome. Lavatune or Demia, yeah, both of them. They're really both the very, very top pinnacle of AFK Arena. And the big thing with Lavatune and Demia is even Demia is being used pretty much everywhere. When you think of the utility of the hero, there is and will continue to be a lot of places. Now you also notice in here, max level gives you a big bonus. Increase the haste of all allied heroes by 20 points. Increase the haste of all allied heroes at the start of battle by 15 points. It gives you kind of a double buff when you buff and when you build these up. So it does make a big difference when you're building these up. So not only having the heroes built, but also building the runes at this point. And the Spire, honestly, it's not super difficult to get through here. I've done it even on very new accounts, doing the exact same, getting through a ton of the content really fast. Just through the Spire. It's not super difficult. What's going on, Hills? Been a while since I tuned into your stream. Are you playing the new season of AFK Journey? No, Hills. Unfortunately, at this point, guys, I am not playing AFK Journey at all. The reason being the time sink. I was spending just an absolute asinine amount of time to AFK Journey to be competitive in the game. They keep adding more and more stuff, more events, more everything to that game. I couldn't keep up with it at all. Took a step back, focusing on AFK Arena. I do play Guild of Guardians, which is an NFT game. That's another game, very, very AFK, really essence, where you don't have to do anything. You might log on once or twice a day, and you don't have to do anything else. It's pretty cool. I actually have it on my FHG channel, but it's a crypto game that I've actually played. We started back in 4 years ago when they started talking about Guild of Guardians. It's pretty cool and it's fun. Was wondering who I should 1-star Lavatoon or Awaken Chimera or build the new Celestial. So Mystical, when it comes to the Awaken heroes, the Awaken version of Chimera needs engraving. 100%. So when you think of the hero and you think of an Awakened hero in general, break that hero into 4 different parts. Those 4 different parts each account for essentially 25% of the hero. If you don't have the 1-star on the Awakened version of Chimera, she is missing the engraving piece. She is missing that 25% of the hero to really take the Awakened version of Chimera to the next level. You have to have them built, and you have to have them built in their entirety. Again, if you're missing part of an Awakened hero, they are not only is Awakened Chimera specifically very dependent on the stats, having the HP that really goes higher and higher through the roof to do damage. But yes, the Awakened heroes, you have to build out 30960 basic build. That is really the basic build to unlock all of their skills and abilities. That is the build that you're looking to do in their Mystical, and you definitely, absolutely have to. Get them to the point. It's the point when the hero really unlocks and the hero works very, very well. So I think we're out. No more. Let's collect up some of this loot though. Boom, there we go. We got some Stargazer scrolls. We got some chests. We got everything that we were looking for. Again, rune-wise, we're just going to continue building these one up, and then we'll do the health. But that is 20 of 25 floors. Again, pretty quick to go through there. Mystic Star Zone, we know. Again, we're 0 forever with the Mystic Star Zone. We still have never, ever pulled the chest in there. So unfortunately, we did not see it. And there we go. So we do get to pick up our copy of Wukong. Collect up our chest out of here. Naruko, if you're a new player, would be a very, very good choice. Older players, Wukong is what you're going to pick up. That way you can go ahead and do the exchange. What is going on, Alfredas? Hopping in for a late night stream here. Let's go ahead, Misty Valley. I want to hit up the Bountiful Trials as well. Again, we have 9 more days in here. Got to get this done. We know that we have a lot. Every time I do the Housecape, I feel like I don't perform very well. I'm slowly building up the meta Awakened and Celestials. But what non-celestial hypos should I build ASAP? When you start looking at the non-celestial heroes, and sad to say, a lot of those are the new ones. A lot of them are, and sometimes, guys, it looks like this isn't loading after they did the update. I'm not sure. There it goes. So it loaded the background. We were having problems with it and problems with it loading, but I think we finished half of this. Yeah, when you start looking at some of the heroes that are really the non-celestial, the hypos, some of the non-meta, I can show you here. So this is Lightbearer, different factions. So thinking of the newer heroes, so even looking non-meta, thinking strictly non-meta, Jerome, Palmer, 100%. Rosaline will do incredibly well in there. Rest of these non-meta, not too super effective. In here, Vika, of course, very, very effective. Naruko, Villanelle, 3 very strong heroes. Looking at our Wilders, kind of the exact same. Aethys you want to build in here, does incredibly well. Even looking at Misha, Misha is another one doing very, very well. Peanut you could still kind of use for a cheese. Iran is another one that you could use that does work again kind of well. And then Greyborn, Ivan, 100%. Ivan does very well. We're seeing Bron in some places, Lady Simona in some places, even Silas still being used if you have Silas built in there. Again, there's 2 to 3 heroes that we're traditionally seeing in a lot of different content that are doing incredibly well, and that really are the top tier when it comes to those wish lists that you want to go ahead and push those in. Why is there only 1 round? So the round is, the way that it works is there are 3 rounds for the Mystic Star Zone. There are 3 rounds. However, each round in the Mystic Star Zone is 3 days. So that's how they broke it out. So you have 3 rounds, 3 days within those rounds, and then it will go ahead and it will recycle. So again, 3 rounds, 3 days. They finished, and I think we just finished round 1, the 3 days of round 1. Then we wait, like, I think it's a week as it sits right now. You do round 2, which is 3 days. Then you'll do round 3, which is 3 days. And then you'll be, and then it will be complete with the Star Zone. They shortened the time, I believe, a little bit a while ago from when we seen the first iteration of the Star Zone. But yeah, they definitely changed it. I have Awakened Athalia to Mythic Plus. Darren, that's your focus. When you think of Athalia, again, being one of the best Awakened heroes to have, we need Elijah and Zolrath. So it is the twins and Zolrath. Let's drop these out. We'll drop our twins in there. And even the twins, Zolrath, even a lot of heroes like in your Challenger store, in your Labyrinth store, not seeing really a lot of play at all. Unfortunately, not seeing a lot of play really at all. I have Demia and Liberta at 1 star. I'm stuck between Lucila and Lavatoon. Lavatoon. Lavatoon F is the one that you absolutely want to build. Lucila is one, of course, that works very well with Liberta. When you think of utility-wise, when you think of big picture content, Lavatoon is far, far before you build out Lucila. Lucila is a hero that is very nice to have based on the hero, based on the build. Yeah, very, very nice hero to have. Is she a requirement? Not at all. Not really at all. Is she a requirement? Which Celestial would I like to see awaken? Honestly, for me, Wukong. Wukong, I would love to see, and I know the Black Wukong has raised super high in popularity. I would love to see them build old school Wukong and just make Wukong a monster. Make him an awakened version of Wukong that is darker, just like the Black Wukong, and just make him an absolute monster. I would love to see for the Celestials. All heroes must be the same class. This one, of course, we burned through, and this is going to be our warriors, because, of course, we have Athalia in here. Same class, and Jerome, yes, is a warrior. What would you say is the #1 source of resources? The best place, Ryan, if you're looking to farm anything by far, is the towers. The towers are the absolute best source of resources, the best place to get everything. When you think of the towers, you get all of your, early, you get copies of all of your faction heroes in there. You can get all of the food that you need in there. But if you look even primary tower, you get stones out of there. You get rare stones. You also get epic stones or elite stones out of there. But when you start thinking of getting Stargazer scrolls, getting your time emblems, they come out of there. Getting essence, they come out of there. Getting even cores, getting shards, getting all of those, they come out of the towers. When you think of, what is the place to farm? 100,000%. It is absolutely, without a doubt, going in and building out and farming out the tower. The tower is the biggest place for resources. And of course, when you start building out heroes, Ryan, it's easy to farm. Levels, of course, make a big difference when you're building out or farming the towers, but those towers will be the best place. You will farm them forever. I'm going on 5 years. We still farm. We still farm the towers on this account. 5 years later, we are still farming towers. And again, the tower farming will never end. There's never an end, and there will not be any end. For the first time, I'm actually keeping up with it. I'm at floor 231. You have to. You have to, when you get to the towers, again, that is going to be the place that you are going to farm forever. As a brand new spender, should I get Liberta, Chimera, Athalia, or Lucilla? Out of there, I would go with Athalia. Jesse, I would absolutely go with the Awakened version of Athalia. She is still and remains my absolute top pick utility-wise. This was, I believe, Thorin and Warwick. There's Thorin. And Warwick used to be best in slot, guys. Warwick was an absolute monster. Once upon a time, wherever he went, big old teddy bear. There he is. I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. Warwick used to have the Bone Breaker, the big debuff that we seen. Warwick was best in slot. He was the one that we seen best in slot for a crazy amount of content because he had the ability to lower the boss's defense, and that was the Bone Breaker. That was the crusher in there. Yeah, again, that's the way. Awakened Athalia, utility-wise, there's not a place in AFK Arena where Awakened version of Athalia is not built. Is Albedo still worth taking? Yeah, that's a really good question. The thing with Albedo is Albedo has the ability, to actually build up and, of course, buff all of the dimensional heroes. And it seems like we continue to see Albedo resurfacing every single time that we do get new dimensional heroes. So if they do another crossover again, if there's a damage dealing crossover, chances are you could see the rise of Albedo again because of the buffs that she brings. I honestly thought at this point, Albedo was going to be phased out long before this point, and she's phased out of just about everything, but I feel like she's still holding on to a couple formations, especially when you get into those dimensional heroes. We still see it. Same with Mythical for me. I graded them all to 40 plus. I can't seem to go any further. Yeah, that's it, Ryan. That's what you have to do. Even now, my towers are like 1200 plus. It's just a grind. Even if you have to borrow a hero. So most of you guys know when you're going in there, if you don't have a third hero or if you need to borrow a hero, you absolutely can do that to continue going in with the grind. Is Mulan worth it? Not really used very many places at all. If they ever come up with a dimensional tower, yes, Mulan is going to be used. Mulan is a really good substitute. That's something to remember is with Mulan, she is a very solid substitute. If you don't have a lot of other heroes built, she could work in a good capacity, honestly, just based on the heroes that you have built. Now in here, there's Villanelle. Let's go ahead and we're going to try to get our other copy right here of Misha. And of course, this does give us some more scrolls in there. So very cool. Knowing that the new hero is coming, there is the copy of Misha. And then, of course, all those other summons that we got. I'm thinking about Shuna got added and Rimuru. Would it be worth it? Yeah, again, it could be. We seen it like Amelia and Rem. It seems like there's going to be a point where we could see, again, Albedo come up. We see the hero kind of the resurgent every now and then when literally the hero just pops into a formation even this, we have a couple more days. We got to grind and get this stuff done, guys. I haven't even hopped in any of the trials. I don't even think I did the bountiful trials. We haven't even done, yeah, we haven't even done any of the quests. I think all the other quests are already open. Let's hop in here real quick. We'll knock this one out. Finally available for a stream. What's going on? It's Beans. Thanks for joining us, Beans, for the stream. Again, it's a late night stream. Why do a lot of people use the owl through AFK Arena? The big thing is the haste. So the owl brings in haste. The owl also does an immunity based on that big green circle for the owl on the floor. There's not very many pets that buff haste, and that's the reason why the owl is still one of the best. So when you think of beasts, kind of think of them being over kind of a subset. I would say like a subset of heroes is what beasts are, essentially the sixth hero in a formation. Anyone that can buff up stats, but anyone that can provide haste. Haste is still the #1 most powerful attribute that we have in AFK Arena. Through everything, haste is still just the absolute dominating force within this game itself. There's nothing that can take away. There's nothing. That's why a lot of heroes that they're making now even have like a diminishment of the haste itself, because haste is powerful. Haste is such a very, very strong utility in there. Who do you say I bring to engraving 80 first? So Benedict, the way that I looked at it, so when you're thinking of the 80 engraving, what heroes are the best in slot heroes within the treasure scramble? Now remember, getting heroes up to the 80 is really the endeavor ability. Not only adding a little bit more stats, you know, kind of the stats that it's adding, but you are looking at building out. And again, the big thing is the endeavor ability that they have. It's focused and 100% focused on PvP when you get to the 80 engraving. So for me personally, the awakened version of Athalia, yes. Leica, Chimera, any of those really, really big PvP heroes. And literally, you can go down your treasure scramble list, look at the heroes in the treasure scramble that are doing the most damage. Those are the heroes you want to build out first, that most players do build out first, because again, they are a really big game-changing hero. When it comes to the E80, it is all PvP. 2 more copies for Misha to Ascended, get my first animated frame. It was totally on accident. That's cool, Mystical. Honestly, when you look at Misha, Misha's being used. Misha's in a couple formations. The hero is doing well. There's not, you know, a huge overemphasis on building the hero. She is doing pretty well. And we continue to see the hero doing pretty well. I like Misha. I use Milan as a substitute for Awakened Chimera Comp. Yep, and there we go. Just what Miles said. So when we think of heroes like Mulan, Mulan is a hero that has a lot of utility when it comes to substitutes. If you're like, you know, this account that I've been playing for 5 years, we don't have to sub anyone because we have everybody built. Really doesn't make a difference, again, what we build in hero, who we have, because we have everyone. For accounts that have to substitute heroes, Mulan is a really, really good substitute. The other really good substitute is Joan of Arc. If you don't have a majority of your support heroes built within the Labyrinth store, Joan of Arc is a very strong substitute for a lot of the support heroes if you don't have them built. Even when it comes to like your Celestials and your Hypos, with the support heroes in there, if you don't have them built, Joan is a very, very good substitute. First time catching the stream. Oh, thank you. Naxalo Gaming, thank you for joining us for the stream. First time streamer, or catching the stream right here. Yeah, I love doing the streams, guys. It's awesome to be able to sit and knock out some content, which we know I had to do today. Because again, this weekend, we're not going to be able to do the stream. So I wanted to hop in here, wanted to get some of this done before we needed to go ahead and knock some of this out. Can you explain how the pet tricks exactly? I have a bunch of level 10 and a new one at level 0. Am I supposed to get the new one on the wish list over and over until... So the pet trick, essentially, if you overbuild a pet for the pet trick, it's going to credit you with other copies. It's not so much a trick. It's just how the pets work, I guess, is the way. is when you build out the beast resonance, if you have a bunch of extra copies of beasts, and the reason for it, Time Twin, is so you can build one specific pet. That's the only thought between the pet and building the pet, is having the ability to build one specific pet, because it's going to give you a bunch of spices. Those spices are going to allow you to build out a specific beast. So let's say, for instance, you have all of your beasts up to level 12. You have one that is on level 0. The one you have on level 0, you keep getting copies of the new one. When you resonate them all to 12, you are going to get secret spice in replacement of the one that essentially you had built or just got all of those copies over and over. They're going to credit you back with the secret spice, which again, it's I don't know if I'd go as far to say that it's a trick or a hack or whatever. If it was anything legitimately, and if there was a problem with it, Lilith would have got rid of it, and it would already be it would have already been gone in its entirety. But they didn't get rid of it at all, because again, it's not like a super impressive hack or anything of that nature. It's just the way that it works. The way that it works. Found an interesting synergy. Causes Valkyrie to outdamage Awakened Chimera. She seems to benefit a lot from Misha. I run Awakened Chimera, Kanisa, and Rook. Valkyrie, and the 5th is a wild card. Oh, that's a pretty cool. So when Valkyrie came out, Valkyrie was actually a hero that was the absolute counter for the Awakened version of Chimera. It's funny that you kind of put it in there. Valkyrie is very specific, and a lot of players, again, use her for that PvP aspect, because of she was kind of built with that in mind, with the ability. She was the counter. Like I said, she was the counter to the Awakened version of Chimera when Valkyrie was first released. It was kind of crazy. Who is a good substitute for the Awakened version of Sophia? Honestly, Miles, when you look at a lot of your, let me see. Answer a question. I don't want to play the silly games. I weave my nest with fine threads, spring spray on death. Spider? I'm trying to read this. There we go. So we got a reward out of there. I'm paying half attention to this. So if I die, it might be my own fault in here, but we'll go ahead. Yeah, like I was saying, the Awakened version of Sophia, couple different heroes is just the bigger support heroes, honestly, are going to be the biggest one. And I don't even know the team I'm running. This is a weird team to be running in here with the Awakened version of Chimera. I think I just picked a few first ones, but looking at any of the Lava Tune, any of the bigger support heroes are going to work very well, and they're going to work in a big capacity. Let me see. This one I believe we got to jump on them. Let's go over, and I think this will take us. Again, I'm kind of half paying attention through here on which way we got to go. So remember, we got to take out, I believe, all these spider webs in here. But we'll get them. I find it sad that people are losing interest in AFK Arena. You need to spend so much money to keep up with the meta, but I'm holding on my mini deal. So the big thing, Beans, is, and we've talked about this before, is when it comes to a lot of players are super happy with AFK Arena without putting any money in it at all. Honestly, it does work very well. A lot of players, again, are very happy when it comes to just, playing the game and being happy in the game and being happy, honestly, with AFK Arena in general. A lot of players are very happy with the game. You really have to set the precedence where if you're not going to put a lot of money into AFK Arena, you're not going to be in the top 1%. You're not going to be in the top 5%. You might even be not in the top 10 or 20%. It is what it is. It honestly what it is. Dudes of Darkness was confusing. I have an old school guide, because this, if you guys aren't familiar, this was when the Awakened version of Sophia was released. Was when these guides or these actually instances do come from. There is, I know, a couple ways. So if we jump here, we jump there. So we have to get over here. I'm trying to think of the jump factor of this one, in which way we have to go. There we go. So we jumped on that one. Now I think we jump down this way, push that one, and then I think we go back up here. Squish that one, and I think that's all. Yeah, clumsy to entrap me. And there we go. So now we can go through the next one. Again, just kind of going through here. What's going on with AFK Arena? I downloaded a bit a while back, went back to the account. So the account, you can do kind of a recovery. Sometimes it opens on, oh, and it didn't, Destruction of Promise, a poisonous snake hiding in a garden of flowers. I don't know. I'm thinking interesting response, but not the right one. There we go. Wrong answer. We were punished. And again, I don't know why we have this team in here. Let's change it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Sometimes it depends what you logged into. It depends also. You shouldn't lose your account if it was linked to a Google account, if it was linked to an Apple account, or if it was linked to an email. You're going to have to try a multitude of things. You can always contact support. They've actually been able to recover a couple of accounts, kind of doing the same thing. You might have logged in with something different than you originally did. So even here, like all of these accounts are on my Google account. I do have some that are on tied to Facebook. A lot of players tied them to Facebook. And a lot of players, again, tied them to email. So you just have to figure out the methodology, exactly how you tied the account to it. What exactly and how, what you tied to it, essentially. What is tied to it. There you go. So switch for the standard version, or you're on the companion ones. So there's a spot when you go to the options, it's on the bottom. It says go to, I believe, classic. Yep, there we go. What Marco said, settings, change version there. And you'll see it says like a classic version, I think is what it shows on there. If I remember correctly, just kind of thinking of the screenshots. I don't think we need, oh, stamina there. But that's exactly what you have to do. You have to get there. Definitely feels better than AFK Journey. AFK Journey, like I said, for me was just too much of a time sink. I couldn't go in there. I couldn't commit the amount of time to AFK Journey that it was requiring. What's going on, Yoga and Wellness? Haven't seen you in a while. Nice surprise to see you streaming. Are the dancers worth engraving to 60? No, they're not. Adrian and Elise are not worth it to engrave to 60. I don't have them to 60. If you want a full utility in there, however, the plus 40 signature item, but honestly, Adrian and Elise right now, I probably wouldn't build. I probably wouldn't build them. Again, similar to what we're seeing right now with our new, could it be more to repulsive web? I think I have to hop a different way on this one. I think, where's my blue? There's the blue switch. And again, I know these are different ways. I do these a lot. Guys, if you wonder how I kind of breeze through them or how it's kind of easier to go through here, I do these a lot. I used to do them on a entirely too many accounts, but going through here, there we go. That squishes that one. And then I'm thinking, where is the down? I think it's this one to go down again. Thinking we have to move this one, and then it hops around. Then I think we have to squish the other way. I think I'm doing it right. Go around, yep. So this one, and this one, you go down here. Now again, I think it's around this way. And of course, I believe down here gets us through here. Yeah, but I think there was a chest the other way. I'll have to look. Yeah, what's going on, Jaffa? Thanks for joining us. Hey, what's up? JC Gamer as well. Thanks for joining us. Game is crazy now. I started playing when the Celestials were twins. Athalia, yeah. Stopped playing when Awakened Athalia came out. Miles, it's crazy. As the way that they release heroes in this game is insane. Every 2 weeks, and really staying up with that 2-week pace. And it was kind of interesting too, because they also said that when you think of the 2-week release pace of AFK Arena, the heroes take about 6 months to build, which means thinking of, you know, the next probably 6 months, they already have the heroes. They already know what's coming. They already know the heroes. They already know the Awakened heroes. They're probably working. I mean, just looking at that pace, they're already working on heroes that are going to be coming in 2025, which is kind of crazy to think. How's it going? Oh, it's going great, guys. Thanks. As always, thanks for the videos. Oh, awesome. Always, Clay. I love doing the videos. Does pulling Draconis insignias count for the event or the regular Draconic scrolls? Just the regular scrolls. So when we went in there, I did the couple of copies in for the patch that's coming on Tuesday out for us. The insignias did not count for the event. So if you're saving those, you are not going to be able to use them. They didn't count for the event. They were not in there. And I think I got to move. I think I got to move this first. Nope, the insignias did not count for towards the summons that were in there, which kind of stinks. But yeah, they didn't. Would you be willing to try the team I mentioned in the campaign? I'm curious to see if it works, to see where you're at. I can. I don't have Valkyrie built very... Let me look at it, Manny. Let me run through here. I don't have Valkyrie built very high. That's going to be one of the things. And I don't have Misha engraved. I don't have Misha engraved either. So I am missing kind of two big things. I started during Persona 5. Yeah, Persona 5 was an awesome collab. I loved it with Joker and Queen. That was such a very, very cool time for AFK Arena. Really need to make the Draconic Scrolls cheaper. Yeah, JC, that's a lot of the feedback that we've been kind of giving to the devs. Making it 3K, making them cheaper, even putting something in here like they did with getting the free scrolls with the new hero. They're very, very slowly, honestly, very slowly making improvements on it. I don't think there's going to be anything game-changing right now, but I feel like it is a very long, slow road that players are looking at, and a lot of players that wanted to be competitive in AFK Arena have already bought a majority of the Draconic heroes. They have most of the Draconic heroes built out at this point. I feel like for a lot of us, a lot of players are just kind of stuck behind not having the ability to build them. This one, I believe we have to go over here. And again, I'm not paying 100% attention on this one to exactly where we're kind of going in the circle here. But I think we have to go across here. So I'm thinking maybe we have to change this one again and then do it around from the other side. Go through the red. Again, I'm half paying attention to this. I'm thinking there, this is going to shoot us over. Up through here, yeah. That one, and of course, clean this one out. We got a lot of copies of Brutus in there. Now, like I said, Alfred Dust, it didn't count. So far behind since then, Bill Jerome, Ivan, Naruko, Aethys, Libertalis. Wow. That is crazy, Miles. That is some very, very strong heroes. Those are the key, Misson said, hero. Yeah, I don't have it fully built, Manny. Unfortunately, I'm lacking a couple of the heroes that are in there. Now, let me see on this side. I think if we hop in here, I know we have a few more we got to break down. And I'm thinking here we're going to be blocked by the yellow in here. Thanks, Amanda Switchback. Very cool. Thanks for the help. I believe Marco was helping. Yeah, they released AFK Companion. So again, they're saying that it's going to be a standalone game. So it is going to be a standalone game next to AFK Arena. So again, and you can go between both games, which to me seemed kind of odd that you could kind of go between both games. What do we need? Do we have anything left on this side? I know we have a few more places, but I think I picked up... Oh, it's not going to let me go in there. All right. Let's grab this one. All right, we have a couple more. I got to see, because I know the white or the yellow we have to go through. Let's hop. I think if we go around just like we were. There we go. So we squish that one. This is another one. Squish that one. All right, and I think that's all, but we have to get back to this one. So again, we have to put that part down. And I'm not sure if we needed that from the other... No, I don't. Or maybe it was the other side. I think it might have been the other side. Again, just trying to remember this as we're kind of going through it. So yeah, some of these, this one definitely a pretty big confusing puzzle. So there's the bottom in that one. I thought we could do kind of the step switcheroo. And that would take us, so we have to get to here on the other side of the red. I think this one is going to do it. That does it. There we go. I'm going to say, I knew, again, just had to pay attention for a minute to the actual puzzle that we had to do here. I think this is like the last one. I think this might be right towards the end of this one. So stuck on the Hypo Tower. Hope they release a good one. Yeah, a lot of players stuck on the Hypo Tower. They're driving Mystical with Kelthon. Kelthon is the big one. 5 years, so many games seem to be the curse year. Yeah, a lot of games never make it 5 years. JC, a lot of games I know never even make it to this 5-year mark. I think over $100 a month to start becoming too much money to just for marginal gains. Yeah, Chow, I do the same. So what I got and what I put in here is about 45. I would say right now we're averaging about 45 a month, and that's it. That's where we're at. So we got what, 2 of 2. We have 11. Finish that adventure. Another one done, guys. That is awesome. So of course this started the Darkness Fall. Let's go ahead and finish the adventure. Again, the Misty Valley is done. Dunes of Darkness is done. Bountiful Trials is done. Lost Spire is all caught up. Very nice. Temporal Rift is one. I'm going to have to get in there, and we're going to have to farm out that Temporal Rift for quite a bit. Then, of course, pretty much, let's pop open these bags. I don't even know how many we have in here now. There's a chest. There's a chest. There's a chest. Oh, already maxed amount for the batch selection. So we can't open that many chests. It is telling us no. But we needed to catch this up. We needed to get a lot of this done. There's some red chests. We got 4 of our reward cards, 4 of our awakened emblems right there. Boom, a lot of engraving mats. This one, of course, engraving mats are what we really, really need in a ton of this content. You know what? I got a ton of shards. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab some essence. I know D2's catching up to me in a very, very big way when it comes to level. And here, this is another one. We got 2 chests out of here, all shards. This one, of course, Stargazer Scrolls, we can use diamonds. Time emblems, we cannot. We'll go ahead and pick those up. There is our 20 chests. And I think, again, we have a few more in here. Let's build that one. And I think that might be, there's another 2. That might be another level we can gain in here. We are at, what are we at right now? Look at that, 930, guys. Coming up to the Abyssal Expedition at 930. Martial ratings is going to be huge. It is going to be absolutely huge to build this. And we're already 39 of 44, so we can almost gain another level right there. Have you gotten a back-to-back 30K? We did once. So we did. If you remember, Mickey, or Miko, we pulled 3 diamonds. If you caught the last live stream, we did pull 3 30K diamonds. We got one back-to-back, which was 2-3 years ago. I think like 3 years ago. When we did pull it. Yeah, companions, I don't like it, Marco. I thought it was something that they were going to integrate in here, saying, okay, well, companions, we can compare, let's say, like a beast ground in comparison to how we do it now within companions. But for them to make an identical standalone game, I think, Marco, it was pretty pretty bad how they did it. And of course, there's a lot of aspects that are missing in there. If you look at a lot of the heroes are missing, but Ghoulish Gallery, a lot of places, I don't know if they're going to implement it, if they're going to roll it out exactly what it's going to look like. But I feel like the game really isn't going to go anywhere. It could be completely wrong, but hey, as much as and as many players played AFK Arena, it seems like it's the new AFK Arena for the younger generation. I don't know what it is or what it's about, but it's going to be kind of crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and it's funny because I do a lot of stuff in here, and players are like, "I've never seen that before. I don't even know what that is or how to do it." Yeah, you can batch open everything. You can set the batches in here, so it will remember exactly what you opened through the batches. They did that a long time ago now to make it easier to get through all of the stuff. You can mass open. The feature, JC, is awesome. It does. Thanks for the help on the Dunes of Darkness. Just finished. Yeah, the last part where you got to get all those webs mystical is a lot. What material should I prioritize in chests other than baits? Yummy, get 18 beasts. I stress this, and I know for a lot of players, the beast ground guys, getting the beast resonance level up to 18 is probably one of the absolute biggest game changers you're going to have, because when you're building out these beasts, it makes a massive, massive difference having them built out. And we're building up Wukong. There we go. Guys, big day for a mythic Wukong, just like that. I traded him, and I actually swapped him for another hero. So, of course, we're rebuilding him. I forget who I swapped him for. I think it was actually, was it Malkry? No, it was Tarnos. I swapped him for Tarnos. That's right. That is how we picked up Tarnos in here. I swapped Wukong for Tarnos. Very, very good swap in there, which was awesome. I kind of feel like this new AFK companion was kind of a waste of resources. Yeah, I don't know what they're planning to do with the JC. It's kind of weird. I've gotten to the point where power cap is unnecessary. Yeah, you do. Once you get to a point of levels, and even looking at the towers themselves, most all of these are capped. Even here, if I really, really pushed these towers, I could cap the rest of these towers. It wouldn't be incredibly difficult. Once you get to a certain level, especially around 930, there's not a big reason, there's not a big push to drive really as far as we have. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, chests without baits. Oh, chests without baits. So there's only 3 things you really want to get. Number 1, red chest. With the introduction of the plus 40 signature items, with the amount of meta heroes there are that need a plus 30 signature item, signature items are still, of course, very, very high requirement over getting red cores. So when you're building out heroes, when you're building out a lot of heroes, red chests are always going to be the priority, because of course, when you get a hero up to mythic, you can utilize all of your chests in your red chest. You have to have the hero ascended with that 1 star to actually start the engraving process. So if you're earlier, and I believe you said earlier, Gemi, that you are a little bit earlier into AFK Arena, yes, get the red chest, get the emblem chest in their entirety. There is never a time you won't need them. You will always, always use the emblem chest. And again, they will never stop being utilized forever. Always, forever and always, you will use red chest, just like elemental cores with new heroes coming out every 2 weeks. You're going to use them, and you're going to use them forever. Now, let me see, because I know we got that 1 copy, Amisha. Where is she at? She's right there. So we picked up our 1 free copy. I think I might have the select summons in here. I'm hoping. Yes, we do. We have 8. So I'm going to pick up 1 more copy here. And the reason for this, even though I don't want to waste the diamonds, is I want to engrave her, at least throw on a little bit of engraving. So with that 1 single copy, we can build her out. Now, of course, like I said earlier, she is being used in quite a bit of content. We're starting to see her in a few different places. She is starting to show up. With me, when it comes to basic engraving, like the plus 30 engraving, because we get so many shards on a regular basis, there's no reason not to do the engraving. Even here, we have like 1,200, 1,500. So to spend 4,000 in here, boom, that's it. Plus 30 is done just like that, giving her, of course, another ability. Allies with White Veil Pollen also gain posterior protection. So again, skills and abilities, getting her built up, adding a lot more to her makes a big difference. I'm going to wait for the new Draconic hero for the rest of our 105,000 diamonds, and then everything else that we have, of course, we're going to wait. How much money does it cost to get to Beast 218 in the first week? Yeah, I'd probably say maybe 10 to 12,000. I don't even know if you can get them to the first week just because of the amount of stuff you can purchase. I don't know. I know there's a couple players, if you guys remember some of the old school players that were dropping, I mean, even here that were, God, 5 to 10K a month, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Yeah, absolutely crazy. If you're dropping that kind of money, honestly, Cheesy, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's no reason to put that much into a game. Even here, I mean, in 5 years, we're at a couple grand over a 5-year period, which again is kind of crazy. I sincerely hope we get a dim tower. Yes, dimensional tower, Miko. I 100% absolutely want to get. Well, I've always wondered about. 2 years old, so it isn't older. Yeah, Jess. And again, when you think of new heroes, so the way that we build them, before we conclude here, guys, is you have really 3 categories of heroes. That is all that I'm going to worry about. I'm not going to worry about Draconic heroes. They're a whole other bag of mess, but I'm going to go ahead. So 3 different categories of heroes, and this is how I break it down. So we have our Light Bearers, our Maulers, our Wilders, and our Greyborn. Those are the first category of heroes. You're going to pick some of the priority heroes that are in the tier list. You're going to build them out in their entirety and only focus on those heroes. When you think of the second bucket or the second set of heroes, it is your Celestial and your Hypo. Now, the reason why they're segregated, regular heroes, you have scrolls, you're not going to use diamonds on. It is only going to be through the natural summons. You're going to pull those first 4 factions. When it comes to Celestials and Hypos, it is going to be a combination of diamonds and it is going to be Stargazer scrolls. These, of course, are going to be, again, priority, just going down the tier list. You're going to have your Lucy or your Liberta, Demia, Lavatoon. You're going to have Aurelia, which, of course, is right here. She is doing incredibly well. Utility-wise, she's being used everywhere. Everywhere we are seeing this hero utility-wise. And then, of course, Lucilla is going to be used as well. Those 5 heroes. And then you have your Awakened heroes. Awakened heroes is really the big third bucket, is focusing and building out one and only one specific hero from all 3 of those buckets. So you have one of the primary 4 factions, one Celestial or Hypo, you'll have one Awakened hero, and that is it. That is how you build the heroes in the AFK arena. Because like we said earlier, when it comes to some of the heroes, some of these Awakened heroes, if you are missing their skills and abilities, if you don't have them with the signature item, with the engraving, with the furniture, you're going to be missing a big chunk of the hero's skills, meaning the effectiveness of the hero does go down dramatically if you don't have them built up in their entirety. So you have to make sure that you do build them up. I see people lower than me and higher in the campaign tower stages. A lot of people just farm it. Manny, with the repeat going in there, a lot of players could do hundreds and even thousands of trials that we've seen in here. Players get to a point where it's crazy how far that some players do go in here and how many times they can go through here. A lot of players like farming the campaign. Me personally, I don't see a huge benefit in it. I haven't farmed the campaign, honestly, in quite a while at this point. And what's going on? Good morning. For me, it's almost good night, guys. One thing I love for them to do is make Mythic Star Zone weekly rather than random. Yeah, they need to do definitely some adjustments. They need to do some more shop adjustments. A couple different things in there. I'm currently building the skateboarding lady. Melkery, again, Melkery is really good PvP-wise. Not really being used anywhere else other than the PvP aspect. But again, a counter to the Awakened version of Chimera, works very well in a lot of different places. Yeah, how good is the new hero to build instead of Lucilla? You could. Honestly, I feel like, and again, when you start looking at AFK Arena, when you start looking at different parts that we have within this game, even thinking here, you know, hopping in the Cursed Realm, ranked number 3 right now in the Cursed Realm. When you start looking at the whales, you'll see right there's Aurelia. She's being used. And if you go through here, you'll see all of the heroes that we've been talking about, that we've been focusing on. Even there's Villanelle, there's Sophia, all of the heroes that we've been talking about. Even there's Naruko, are the heroes that are being used in all of the content in AFK Arena, and they're being used very deep. When you go to Nightmare Corridor, the exact same thing. You will find the hero Blossom absolutely killing it here. There's Vika, and look, there's Adrian and Elise. But going through here, you'll see there's Lan that pops up in there. There's even the original version of Leica with Gwen. Or no, is that the original version? That I think is the skin. I think that's the skin on the original. But yeah, looking in here, you have Liberta. And then, of course, right there's Lavatoon, which we always see. And then right there she is. They got the trial version of the test version right there of Aurelia. And again, same thing when you go through the treasure scramble, you'll find the hero. Yeah, Villanelle. Villanelle Manny is one that I feel like most players really underestimate. Villanelle does super well. So looking at our ranking, like I said, when you start looking through here, there's Tarnos, there's Misha, which again, we just added a little bit more strength to. Even there's Kelthin. But looking in here, Aurelia will be used, and there she is, being used. So pretty much anywhere that she can be used in a multitude of formation ever since release, she's being used. We're seeing her being used everywhere, similar to Lucilla, similar to a lot of other heroes. She is being used in a ton of content in AFK Arena. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's stream. I wanted to hop on again. We are not doing a Sunday stream. I'm going to put something up on the board so you guys can see it. There's not going to be a Sunday stream. I wanted to hop in there today. We're going to be out of town for the weekend. I used my chest to get a copy of Wukong to exchange for Misha. That is good. That will work, JC, if that's the way you play it. It will work. But guys, again, thank you guys for watching the stream. Always love coming in here, being able to come in here, talk to you guys about AFK Arena. I know there's a lot more that is coming, especially with the new hero, new Graveborns on the way. Then, of course, we have another Awakened hero that is still going to be coming, and it's going to be in the works. We have our final Awakened hero, which is going to be a Graveborn Awakened hero. We're going to have to see exactly what that looks like in the future. And I don't think the next hero is going to be an Awakened Graveborn. I think we have a little bit more, but we also know they could do a second collaboration this year. So we could see some more dimensional heroes coming out of the woodwork with another collaboration that AFK Arena does. And if you looked at all the other collaborations, guys, it has been 2 heroes at a time. Pretty much 2 heroes at a time every time, unless it's their own dimensional hero. But collaborations at this point, I don't see them only pulling 1 hero over. I think it's going to continue with the repetition of the 2 heroes every single time that we do it. So again, guys, that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. And as always, thank you guys for watching.